So a few days ago, Matt LaFleur spoke with some Packers reporters, and I already touched on some information he discussed regarding Christian Watson and trying to fix some of his past injury issues. But now I want to share sort of his thoughts on what he thought when he got the Josh Jacobs news, because it sounds like he wasn't necessarily knowing that this was going to happen until it happened. And so here we have from Matt Schneidman of The Athletic, who says here in his article, LaFleur said the signing of Jacobs caught him off guard on the first day of the legal negotiating period. LaFleur says, I don't know all the details of that. I'm not involved in those types of conversations, but yeah, we were super excited. So I would have thought that LaFleur and Gutekunst would be, looking at certain players together and he would have some kind of idea of what was going on. But it sounds like Gutekunst sort of made his move, made a decision, and I'm not sure when he told LaFleur. I'm not sure if it's when he got signed. LaFleur figured it out. I would have thought he would have been more involved in those kind of conversations. Maybe LaFleur knew a little bit before he got signed and, Gutekunst let him know what he was attempting to do. But at the same time, LaFleur was shocked when he hears the news that the Packers are signing Josh Jacobs. And then here's LaFleur's thoughts on Josh Jacobs as a running back. Here's from the article from Matt Schneidman as well. LaFleur says, I think the first thing that jumps off to me is just his play style. Like, he is tough, hard-nosed. He can be a high-volume guy. Just studying him, I think there's more out there for him in regards to the passing game, using him out of the backfield. He's put some really good choice routes on tape. That's something we always try to get to. We've done it a little bit more down in the red area, but I love the person, just being around him in that brief time when he came to Green Bay. So it looks like the Packers could use him more out of the backfield, catching passes than he has been used in times past with the Las Vegas Raiders. And then here we have from Bill Hubert of Sports Illustrated said this, LaFleur, though, suggested he might not deviate too far from how Jones was used. During their 5 seasons together, Aaron Jones, averaged 16.4 touches per game. Jacobs averaged 20.6, highlighted by 23.1 touches per game during his All-Pro 2022 season. He says, I think you guys know how I feel philosophically, LaFleur said. I think you have to have multiple backs in this league. Those guys take a beating. It's always a luxury when you have a guy who can take those number of carries and be a high-volume guy, but I don't really see it changing it much in terms of how I want to use our backs. So it sounds like the usage that Jacobs got while in Las Vegas is likely going to go down in Green Bay. And the Packers, we've seen, they like to have that kind of split backfield. And even though the Packers had a healthy Aaron Jones, they still, subbed in A.J. Dillon a good amount of time. And it sounds like that's going to continue going forward. Because I do think when you get to the playoffs, you want running backs who don't have a crazy amount of carries, who are sort of, beat down by the time the most important games come around. And so I think in today's NFL, it is wise to have multiple backs. So that way you're allowing guys to, not have so many carries that they're sort of worn down by the time when the football that truly matters comes around. And so it sounds like the Packers are going to keep up that same philosophy of splitting carries. I would assume Jacobs gets a lot more carries than A.J. Dillon, but at the same time, we should see good use of A.J. Dillon and potentially Emmanuel Wilson as well. But if you want more Packers news, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.